Well, it's my privilege to address you during the programme of Bending the Arc, and I'm only sorry I can't be with you in person. But I'm delighted to be able to share a few thoughts on the role of business in attaining the Millennium Development Goals in Africa. But first, I'd like to congratulate NEPAD and the United Nations for convening this conference, because 2005 represents a truly historic opportunity for Africa and her people. And if we capitalise on that opportunity, millions of people can be lifted out of poverty and put on the path to sustainable development. Bending the Arc provides a chance for each of us to consider the role we can play in that challenge. It is pleasing that so many representatives from the world of business are contributing to Bending the Arc. This is significant. For far too long, business has been sidelined in the development debate. This was, I believe, a mistake. A thriving private sector is the engine of growth of any economy, creating employment, stimulating economic activity, and generating tax revenues. African governments recognise this. That is why they're working hard to create enabling environments for investors. Perhaps the greatest contribution the international business community can make is to reciprocate that effort and consider seriously the continent's investment opportunities. Too many investors, both international and African, are overlooking the continent because they refuse to think beyond the stereotypes. But Africa presents one of the great new market opportunities of our times. In the case of Virgin Atlantic, many considered that commencing services to Africa was a risky venture. I disagreed. Africa is an opportunity. Now, almost a decade on, I'm proud that Virgin plays a major role in transporting business people, holidaymakers, and those visiting their family and friends to Africa. Last year, we transported 375,000 passengers who enjoyed the Virgin Atlantic experience on flights to and from Africa. Following 4 years of sustained growth in Nigeria, last month saw the launch of Virgin Nigeria Airways. This will create employment for thousands of Nigerians and greatly improve the connections between cities like New York and London, and one of Africa's fastest growing economies. I think the success of Virgin Atlantic in Nigeria proves that there is need to distinguish between the perceived and actual risk of investing in Africa. Of course, businesses have much more to contribute than investment. In the crucial year for Africa, it is important that businesses on the continent reflect on the ways in which we can leverage our resources, skills and infrastructure to support development, as well as achieving our core business activities. For the first time in history, we have an opportunity to end poverty in Africa, but also to stamp out other diseases that kill millions of people, like malaria. Professor Sachs has given us a clear roadmap to achieve this. I'd like to conclude by commending Professor Sachs in his effort to draw our attention to the inequities of the world and for arguing that with perseverance we can make a difference. I'd also like to applaud Africa's leaders in their fight to create true democracies in Africa and in their fight to stamp out corruption. Finally, I wish you all a successful conference, and I look forward to hearing from Steve Ridgway, our Chief Executive, on the outcome of your discussions. Thank you.